All right. So, since the last one was somewhat hopeful, I am gonna try again to record and see if I can share a little bit about what's been going on. Ugh. Okay. So, pocket eights starting out, I am in so small blind, big blind, under the gun plus one, hijack, low jack, hijack cutoffs. So I am in hijack, and I would like to raise to 2.2. So we are thankfully deep stacked. This person raised it to 5. This person raised it to 20. Hmm. Um, yeah. I think I'm just gonna let it fold. I'm gonna see because I don't know any of these people. And so thinking about it, obviously hindsight's 2020, right? My eights are higher than sevens, higher than threes. Got another 3 in there, so surely neither one of those people are really jamming with those guys. But you never know. Okay.
Welcome to our resources page.
Whoops.
If you landed here, you're serious.
So queen, ace, and jacks. So I would have been beaten out by the queen, ace, or the jacks. So that was a good fold on my part, and I'm only down 2. So I am now in big blind, under the gun, plus one, king, 9. Not a horrible hand, but it's not suited. So I'm going to try to play tight here as I'm starting out. Because I'm starting out 300 big blinds deep, but so I'm in the hijack. So the cutoff for this hijack position for an offsuit would be king 10 offsuit. And even then, they would recommend just raising it, but folding it if people show aggression. Like you're essentially just wanting to see the flop, but you need to be ready to get rid of it because not as strong. So now we got moved. So now we have same hand, king 9, but we're in the small blind. So in the small blind, king 9 suited, so it's a different ball game. So they recommend raising it or calling it. And I'm just going to call. I'm kind of playing conservatively until I get to know the people around me. Um, and I'm going to check it because it's not great for me and it's not horrible for me, but I actually think I'm going to get rid of this. Now I'm at the button and I have a pair of sevens. So in the button in sevens, it recommends to either raise it or call a C bet or call a 3 bet. So a 3 bet is like, say this person over here or over here bets 2 big blinds. A 3 bet would be me raising it even higher than that. So we're going to try it out. We're going to raise it's 3 bet to 3 big blinds. And part of the reason why you want to do that is to indicate strength. And these sevens kind of need protecting. They're not obviously not as great as like aces, kings, queens, jacks, tens, nines, eights. There's a lot of stuff that can beat us. But right here, unless this guy's got tens. So we're going to call king. So if he's got a king and something like 2 pair are so there's no straight. There's no flush. And I still think that we have the best hand. So I am barreling into this and we're going to find out. So we were paid off just fine. So the only things that could really have made our life miserable was if somebody had a pair of tens or a pair of kings. And we're so deep right now that it kind of doesn't matter. So we are in the cutoff with king two offsuit. So we're going to fold this. So right now, all of us are really deep, but in this tournament, people are probably going to be a little bit crazy. Okay, so we are now in the hijack. So small blind, big blind, under the gun plus one, low jack, hijack. And we've got jack six offsuit. So we're going to fold. Even if it had been suited, we would fold that one because that is like barely strong. You can't have a straight. Especially with this hand, you can't have a flush. So, so the other funky thing about this is that if you were wanting to review a hand because you're like, what in the world happened? You actually can click on this little thing down here and it'll show you. Okay, 10-4. I doubt I have to tell you this, but we're in the low jack position, 10-4 unsuited. We're gonna fold it without thinking twice. So our next position, we're gonna be under the gun. And under the gun, we're going to play all aces down to ace two suited. We're only playing aces down to ace 10 offsuit, kings down to king 10 offsuit, queens, we're only playing down to queen, queen, king, queen suited, ace, queen suited, jacks, ace, jack suited, king, jack suited, queen, jack suited, jack, jack. And then there's very limited jacks that will play jack 9 suited, jack 10 suited. But a lot of those we're going to be quick to get rid of if anybody shows any aggression. So we are actually we're considered middle position here, but nevertheless, 6-3 unsuited, we're gonna get rid of that. All right, Jack 9, we're gonna fold that one. It's unsuited. So one of the things that they talk about is that they talk about kind of profiling, the people at your table. And I actually find this really hard playing online. Um, and I just won that big blind without doing everything. Everybody folded to me. So I think online, part of the reason or way that you can get an image of being aggressive is like raising your butts, right? Um, I kind of will label people tight aggressive if I notice that they're only in hands when they have a really, really good hand. So we've got king three off. We're gonna go ahead and play this. Um, I'm gonna bet. Part of the rationale for betting is that I've got a king, which is greater than that one. If I'm first to bet, it just comes off differently than if I'm second or third to bet, like if I'm responding, because I'm indicating that there's something that I like about that. So even I just bet 25% of the pot. I don't always do that because sometimes it can get me into trouble. But I find if I lead with aggression, even like 25% of the pot, um, 50% if I'm like, yeah, I've got a piece. The way they say it is you've got some equity in the board, right? There's something about your hand that connected with that hand, and especially, I'm going to fold this, especially if something that you connected with is greater than, the than the others. So so yeah, so oftentimes I will do that. And especially if you have like these folks checking. So the mentality is checking implies weakness. It can also be kind of a trap, that you're not wanting to disclose, like that you have a little bit at stake, in that board, and you're wanting other people to like bid into it. So 8-2 suited, we are in the cutoff. So even so, 8-2 suited is not enough of anything to get excited about. From this cutoff and where we're at in terms of big blinds, 8-5 suited would be the lowest that if we really wanted to get in the pot, then we would. And so the mentality at these early stages is that you want to have your range to be wide enough that you are active in pots, because we're not going to collect more chips, win more hands if we're not in it, right? But you don't want to be so reckless that you're bleeding chips. So, Jack 3 unsuited. We are in the low jack, hijack. We're in hijack, but it's not strong enough to jump in there. So half of this, right, is the luck of the cards, and half of it is having the knowledge of what is worth getting into. And then once you're in it, how do you continue in a way that signals strength or ambiguity? Like people don't know how to respond. I know what this thing is. Drag to move. I don't even know what that does. So somebody could have, yeah, a flush draw, a straight draw. Ugh, I still don't have anything great. So we're gonna fold. So, and then on these things, like this person got extra time to think about it. Um, so there's like a little button on the online, and like if you were like, I can't make a decision, you have a time bank that you can click on it. You don't want to waste all of your time thinking, because there might be hands that are, trickier in the future. But you can do that. My other lesson learned is like these three buttons, the fold, uh, bid or raise. Sometimes I have tried to click check, and as I was clicking check, somebody had gone all in and I accidentally like went all in when I didn't mean to. So I've gotten in the habit of like, especially as it gets trickier and I am, I don't know how to say it, like I am more invested, um, higher stakes, I wait to click the button so that I don't accidentally go all in because that was devastating when it happened. Six, seven unsuited. We are under the gun. We are not even considering this. So if it was six, seven suited and you were in the next one over, you could consider doing what we call a min raise. So like this person did a raised it to three big blinds. So raising it by two or three, two is a min raise. And I kind of default to two or two and a half for my min raise because and I do that for aces, for kings. I will go higher if I have like queens, jacks, because those ones are more, or tens, because those are all more vulnerable and I kind of want to push people out. But like these folks that are doing like 20 straight out of the gates, I don't know about that. So 2-3, the dirty diaper is the only time, not the only time, but most of the time I'm only playing that here in the big blind or in the small blind. There's not a whole lot of reason. But like he bumped it up to two big blinds. I don't even know. He raised it to five. I'm out of here. There is no reason for me to get involved in that dogfight. And then if it does flop 2-2-3 or 3-3-2, then I'll just deal with it. But whatever. So 2-3 and 3-5 and 2-4, especially if they're suited. Sometimes those can be tricky combinations because, especially if you have a straight that flops, like an ace 3-4, on the board, then you have a chance at a straight. And that's kind of fun. Okay, ace six. So, for whatever reason, ace six is considered the worst hand, the worst ace hand. As long as squirrel food does not go nutso. Haha, no pun intended. Oh, but they did go nutso. Um, A6 is really not that strong. I'll play it sometimes, but I'll usually play it A if it's suited and B. So part of the game, like when you get here, is kind of trying to imagine what do they have, like because if that person had a hand that was good enough to min raise, right? But this guy had enough to bump it up even higher. You kind of wonder, does this have like high ace, suited Broadway, ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10? Or do they have like nines, eights, tens, jacks? Like, do they have something? And unfortunately, we're not going to get to see now. So, um, so we don't know. So 10-8 unsuited from the button. So 10-8 offsuit, we're going to play it. So we're limping. We're limping in, so we're not indicating any kind of strength at all. That's okay. So thinking strategy, we could overbet that one to try to you know, psych people out. Oh wow, see this would be the moment to have ace six, right? It's too funny. But nobody's got an ace because he's checking. He checked the first time around. We're going to see if he even bets. I kind of at this point just want to even see the flop. This is very unexciting. So now we're going to see who has the highest card. See. For one big blind, I'm gonna see 2-8. Oh, that's too funny. He had twos, so he had a full house. All right, 6-4 suited in the cutoff. 6-4 suited. So that's funny. So on my chart, because I'm going through my chart right now, 6-4 suited is a fold, which I would agree with that. Unless I was really feeling loosey-goosey, I would not be playing that. Because, yeah. Sometimes the other factor as to whether or not you want to bet too is how many people are still in the pot. So, like, they call it a family pot if every single person bets into it and stays into it. So, if we've got a family pot, your likelihood of somebody else having a better pair of hearts is much higher. See? And so this guy, mom with the axe, man with the axe, just raised it up to 6.5 because part of his rationale, he would prefer to play heads up, so 1-to-1 versus one person versus going heads up against five, right? Your likelihood of winning. So that's the other kind of rationale as to why you three bet, why you raise it from what the original raiser had. Someone's got sevens. Maybe, maybe not. And the other thing that you kind of watch out for in online is how quickly or how long it takes somebody to make a decision. I feel like this person, yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like they're doing a lot of thinking all the time. Kings and jacks. Who's got it? Oh, that's too funny. So they both have kings and jacks. That's always nice when that happens. And 6-9. I actually like 6-9 whenever it's suited. So we are in the hijack, but we're going to fold. So, and again, as you kind of look, if you pick, click on people's heads. So his VPIP is 40%. His pre-flop raise is 22%. King, king. All right, let's see if our kings get cracked. So the longer I play, the less excited I am. And I'm going to raise it by 2.5 about kings and aces because I feel, oh, see, he loves to raise it up. The less excited I am because your opportunity to get it busted is relatively high. So this person's tight. 28.5. Goodness. We're going to call because we got a strong hand. Luca. So I'm kind of wondering if Luca has got aces. Oh, snap. Please don't be an ace. Please don't be. Yes! I stayed alive. Holy guacamole, that was a lot. Okay. Woo! Can't... I'm alive. Good. We'll be dead. Whew. Okay. Got through that. My heart's racing. I was afraid he had aces, but sorry, I thought. All right, sorry, I'm back. And I unmuted myself. We are in the under the gun. We're folding that one. So, mute myself. Okay. So we are effectively chip lead at this point. And we are ranked 22 out of 2,231. So we're not doing too bad. Okay, I'm gonna stop it here.